Okay, hello, welcome to a video on HCF and LCM. Okay, first of all, let's talk about what HCF means. HCF stands for the highest common factor. Okay, so that means factor is a number that goes into another number, so that means the highest number that goes into both of the numbers you have been given, or three of the numbers you have been given, or however many numbers you've been given. The highest number that goes into all of those numbers, that is what the highest common factor is. Okay. LCM stands for the lowest common multiple. So a multiple is a number that is in that number's times table. So for example, 24 is a multiple of 6 because it is in the 6 times table. So when we are talking about the lowest common multiple, we are looking for the lowest number that all of the numbers given go into. So a number that is in the lowest number that is in all of their times tables. Okay. Now I'm going to start off by thinking about it logically, and then we're going to talk about how we do it properly. Okay. So here we have been given what is the highest common factor of 24 and 20. Okay. Let's think about the number 24. Let's think about factors of 24. Now when you're thinking of factors, it's easiest to do it in pairs. So 1 times 24 is a factor of 24. 2 and 12, 2 times 12 is 24. 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. Okay, they are all the pairs of factors of 24. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factors we've written down of 24. Let's do the same with 20. So we've got 1 and 20. 2 and 10, 4 and 5. They are all factors of 20. Okay. Then we can just look at both lists and see what is the highest factor of both of them. So obviously 24 is not a factor of 20, and 20 is not a factor of 24, so that's no good. 12 is no good, 10 is no good. 8 is no good, 6 is no good, 5 is no good because that's not in the other one, 3 is no good. So what is the highest factor? The highest factor is 4. That is the highest number in both of my lists, which is in both of them. That is 4. Now that's fairly straightforward to do with two relatively low numbers, okay? But you need to have an actual method, and this is the method I would like you to use from now on, okay? Resisting singing there. So here we go. We've got HCF of 30 and 48. What you need to do is you need to do a factor tree for both of those numbers. If you are confused about factor trees, you need to go and watch the video about factor trees. Okay, so we're looking for prime factors of 30. So 2 goes into 30 15 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. They are all prime. Let's do a factor tree on 48. So we've got 2 and 24, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3. Okay, we are then going to construct what we call a Venn diagram, invented by Mr. John Venn. Here is a Venn diagram. You'll have seen it before. You might refer to it as those circly things. Okay, let's call this circle 30 and this circle 48. So the middle bit here is where we have common factors, factors in both 30 and 48. So let's look at our factor trees. We're only looking at the circle numbers here. So 2 is there and 2 is there, so we can put a 2 in the middle. Now here we've got more 2s, but we've got no other 2s here, but we have got a 3. So that 3 and that 3 mean that can go in the middle. Left in the 30 we've got the number 5. Left in the 48 we've got 3 2s. Okay, that is your your Venn diagram. Then to calculate your highest common factor, your HCF, you multiply the middle. Okay, you multiply the intersection, the middle bit, 2 times 3. So we've got to do 2 times 3, which makes 6. Your highest common factor of 30 and 48 is 6. Okay, right, we're now going to move on to the LCM. Okay, we've been asked to calculate the LCM of 64 and 80. So the lowest common multiple of 64 and 80. So it's got to be in the 64 times table and in the 80 times table. Okay, now you could write out your 64 times table and your 80 times table until you get to a number that is matching. All right, that could take you some time though. and you could make mistakes. So the easiest way to do it is to use this method I'm going to use now. Okay, so we're going to do a factor tree on 64 and we're going to do a factor tree on 80. So 64, 2 goes in 32 times, 2 and 16, 2 and 8, 2 and 4, sorry about that noise, and 2 and 2. That's your factor tree on 64. We are then going to do a factor tree on 80. So we've got 2 and 40, 2 and 20, 2 and 10, 2 and 5. Okay. Similarly to the HCF, we are then going to put them into a Venn diagram. So here's my Venn diagram. I've got 2 circles that cross. One is 64, one is 80. Okay. Any common factor, prime factor, goes in the middle. So we've got a 2 there and a 2 there, so we put a 2 in the middle. A 2 there and a 2 there, another 2 in the middle. A 2 there and a 2 there, another 2. A 2 and a 2, another 2. Right, we've got nowhere else to pair up the 2, so we're left in the 64 we've got 2 2s, and left in the 80 we've got a 5. Okay, now for the LCM, so the HCF we multiplied all the middle ones. For the LCM, you multiply every single number in the Venn diagram. Now the easiest way to do that, in my opinion, is to do your big number first. So if you had 7 or 13 or whatever, you put that at the front, and it gets smaller as your list goes on, because then your multiplying will become easier. This would probably be in a non-calculator paper. Okay, so we've got 5 and then 6 2s. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10, times 2 is 20, times 2 is 40, times 2 is 80, times 2 is 160, times 2 is 320. So your lowest common multiple of 80 and 64 is 320.